Hey Alex, dude, I was gonna say like I sent it in a chat, but I said you're doing.
Oh, everyone's coming in. Hi, good morning.
Oh, look at the precious.
What's your cat's name?
His name is Prince.
Oh,
He's joining me
so
today, I
cute.
guess.
My heart is melting.
You're so cute.
He sheds so much. And I'm allergic.
Oh.
So Alex and Liz, did Ricky confirm that you all are going to be with me during Reg Day?
Yeah, because yes.
For the whole day or just until the 1 o'clock hour?
For the whole day.
Cool. Do we have time to meet today, Alex and Liz? We'll wait a few minutes before we formally get started. These are Monday morning faces right here. Morning, good morning. We'll wait a few minutes for those just trying to get on the computer. Is there like a Zoom, like pass the mic game we could play, Alex? Like everyone pick up your pen and take it to the person to your left, person to your right? Is there like a game like that we can play? There's someone stuck in the waiting room. Who is that? Someone just like stuck in there. Oh, there they go. Good morning, good morning. We're just gonna give each other a couple minutes until we get a little bit more students zooming in. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Everyone awake? Happy Monday. Hey, Alex doing the Monday dance. Alex, what's our slogan? Remind me.
Where's the wolf pack at?
Ah! Where's the wolf pack at? Get it Monday morning. Rebecca, where is it? Rebecca, you're the only one. There we go. Get it. Morning, y'all. Hey, Professor Stephanie's on it. She's on it. Stephanie, did you have announcements or you're just hanging out with us this morning?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I cut and just pop in real quick?
Yeah.
I believe I posted an announcement on Canvas, but for those of you that turned in a draft to me, I gave you some feedback. But I feel like I haven't got to really talk about writing, and so I would love for you to take the opportunity to come meet with me for one-on-one meetings, and then we can talk specifically about your writing and just exactly what it is that you would like to work on, and go over any questions that you have for my remarks, because sometimes I have shorthands that may not be super clear from the get. I try my hardest, but I just wanted to pop in, and I posted a sign-up sheet to Google Doc with all the times that you can meet with me between now and I'm going to add Wednesday right now, because it says that your essay is due on July 1st, but it's at midnight, so we could still meet on that Wednesday as well. So I'm going to add that day. So between now and Wednesday from 2 to 4, and then tomorrow from 10 to 12, I believe, because it says we have a combined day. So I'm hoping, I'm going to check with Professor Kyle, but I think all those times, so there's plenty of time slots. So that's
Stephanie, would you mind resending the link to sign up to see you for drop-ins on the chat for
of
everyone to
course.
see?
Yep, I will do that right now.
Cool. That was on my announcements, but I'm glad I'm glad you were able to do that.
Sorry, I just wanted to come see your happy faces this morning real fast.
I know, it's like, it's like you think about Monday, you're like, oh man, another long day. And then you see the students' faces, you're like, oh my, this is exactly why I'm working right now.
Yeah, exactly. It gets me excited for the semester. So, but I will not take up any more of everyone's time. I'll pop that in the chat right now, and I'm going to head on over to another meeting. Any
Perfect.
questions before?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Oh yeah, does anyone have any questions for Stephanie?
Any specific for me? No? All right. Well then, I will look forward to seeing you this week.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Let's see here. So I also want to say that I appreciate you all helping me meet my goal. I had a goal that I wanted to meet everyone face to face, everyone in the cohort. I even tried to reach out to those who were not able to come to class, that are doing everything fully remote and not coming to the classes. And I'm happy to announce, besides a couple of people but are not in this Zoom room, I have pretty much met with everybody last week. So I'm really glad that I was able to get to know you all. Thank you for helping me meet my goal, because this week we get to focus on registration and financial aid. Speaking of registration and financial aid, today there should be a session. Let me open up the Zoom, not the Zoom, the Canvas. Okay, no one's in Hutchins. So today we have a financial aid workshop from 2 to 3. I'm gonna really highly recommend that as many of us as possible can get there, just so we can get our financial aid questions answered. If you all look at the student resources page, there should be a financial aid estimated budget worksheet. If you can play around with it, check it out, look at it, and compare it to your financial aid award, that would be really helpful, because tomorrow we're not going to have class. Tomorrow's class, so we're not going to have class with me. We're not going to have an advising session. Tomorrow's class is going to be filling out the estimated budget worksheet. Some of my colleagues are going to Zoom in to that 9 to 9:50 hour, and they're going to help you fill out your worksheet. But I really want to encourage you to please take out the worksheet in advance today, check it out, go to the workshop today at 2 and really be familiar. I don't want tomorrow to be the first time that you all check out the worksheet, and then you'll have tons of questions with the other practically 300 students that are there, and I don't want your question not to get answered. So the more familiar you are with the SB, the more familiar you are with the financial aid policies and services that we offer by attending the 2 o'clock meeting today, the better it's going to be for us when you and I actually sit down and look at your financial aid award. We'll have most of our questions answered, and we can actually get to the next part in terms of like making sure that you're set to go for your first year. Your estimated budget worksheet, like I said, should be under the student resources guide area on Canvas. And most of us during our one-on-ones have been looking through your financial aid. Some of us had some other things that we needed to touch on, so we didn't go there. But most of us have looked at it, and most of everyone, unless there was an issue and you and I talked about it, most of us should be pretty good to go. We have our full financial aid package for the fall and spring semester, so for your first year. Make sure while we're talking about this and while it's fresh in your mind, on your calendar, on your phone calendar, your laptop, any calendar that you use, just put a reoccurring reminder on your calendar, maybe right before October hits, just to make sure that you do your FAFSA or your California Dream Act application ASAP. Just as soon as October hits, get that done for the following academic year, because it's a first come, first serve basis. I'm sure maybe some of you have heard this in high school, but just like getting that done ASAP, particularly in college, because you have a lot more competition now because you are an enrolled student. Before, it's like everyone just kind of put anything, like any college that they were potentially going to go to, right? And so, you know, some financial aid award got dispersed here and there, and it's like, it was kind of like, you didn't know where the game was because you didn't know what students were accepting what college. This time it's like you're competing with the other continuing students at Sonoma State for that same bucket of money that's coming to Sonoma State. So just make sure while we're talking about it, put a reminder on your phone, whatever you use to like keep track of dates, and make sure it's reoccurring. So every October you're out there doing your FAFSA on time. EOP typically sends reminders on the EOP student listserv. So you know how you all are checking your emails like a lot during summer bridge? You're going to be doing the same thing during your academic year. At least once a day you all are checking your emails. And I know we went over that EOP contract, and it even says in there, like, we really appreciate that students check their emails at least once a day to get that information from your advisors. And we send out constant reminders as we approach October to make sure you all do that. So with that being said, I really want to encourage us to make sure that we're at the 2 o'clock financial aid meeting. I'm going to try to be there. So if you all need me and want to send me private messages to talk individually about your stuff, then I'd be happy to do that. So I'll try to be there just so you can send me messages. Get there tomorrow. So tomorrow we will not have class here, but what we will have is the financial aid budget worksheet workshop. So as long as you come on 2 o'clock, as long as you look up your worksheet in advance and you understand what your award is for next semester, there shouldn't be any big issues, because that's why I tried to meet with you all last week. So we looked at everyone's financial aid awards. Everyone should be pretty good to go. There were just a couple people that I talked to get some things done, and so everyone should be pretty good to go. So this cohort shouldn't have a lot of worry or stress around what they should anticipate in those worksheets and in that workshop, but just keep me posted. If something comes up, something sounds confusing, you don't know what's going on, just check in with me and I'd be happy to look you up today at 2 or at any point in time, actually. But as you're there today, it might be fresh in your mind, so you might want to ask me questions. Some of you I've given my number out to, and some of you I think I just kind of forgot. So in case I don't answer your private messages and emails are blowing up because it's summer bridge and I'm like constantly on my email, and sometimes it's hard for me to get to some of those individual emails that some of you are sending me. I'm pretty good with text, because text I can just kind of text you in between meetings, or even put my camera off and myself on mute and text students as they send me, as you all have questions. So I'd like to give you my number. I don't text right away because sometimes I'm in a meeting and I'm actually facilitating the meeting, but I text everybody back. So Alex knows. So, and once you text me, you're gonna let me who you are, like full name. And I sometimes I'm gonna ask for your ID because I have so many students. I have like, how many students do I have? Like almost 200 students. So I'm gonna forget what the story is. So you gotta be really specific with me. Say, I'm looking for this question. Here's my ID. Is there any way you can help me out? So I'd like to give you my number. I'll say it out loud. I'll type it in the chat. It's 707 595 0942. Let me type it in too. That's usually a text line. If you want to call it, that's fine. But you know, I'm not usually on the phone, just hanging out, yapping with students. So text me. I'll get you everything you need. And I think that's what I wanted to say about that. I did have on my announcements to make sure that you see Stephanie for one-on-ones that she provided the next few days. And that's even more so important for us because we're assigned to her cohort, to one of her sections in English for the fall. So she's going to be with us all the way until the end of the calendar year. So I think that's really important that we create a relationship with her early. We understand how she teaches. She understands our learning style. It's just going to be really helpful for us in our academic success for semester 1. So I know it's optional to kind of go in and meet with her, especially if some of you all are really good writers. Most of us are in English 101, so like most of you are really good writers, but I still want to encourage you to please go in and see her, check in with her, and continue to get that feedback. Oh, so I'm really excited that I was able to see most of you and get to know most of you last week. I was stoked about that, honestly. But if some of you have already sent me some messages asking if you all could see me again, and I'm totally down with that, let's do it. Today would probably be best. Let me actually resend out the Excel. Sorry, I'm not very tech savvy. So here's the Excel sheet. Oh, did someone send it? Oh no, that's Stephanie. Okay, so yeah, those are my that's my hours for today. If you're gonna see me, just can you let me know? Can you tell me you signed up? Because if I don't know that you signed up before 1 o'clock, then I won't get on the Zoom. So send me a text and be like, I signed up today. I blocked out that 2 o'clock time because I'd really like to be there for you during the financial aid hour time. If no one's really like let's say the hours kind of going through, no one's really kind of texting me and asking me any questions, I might just leave. But if you need me to zoom back in or have specific questions, now you have my number, so you can just let me know if you need me to come back in and you have a question for me. So I might not stay for the full 2 hours if you all don't need me, or the full hour, sorry, if you all don't need me. So, and remember on the Excel, the days are by tabs. So you don't scroll down to find more times, you change the tabs to find more times. So I already saw a couple people already pre-signed up for this week, which is totally good. Just let me know so I don't forget. So those are my big announcements. Alex, you said that you had potentially a game. Would that take longer than 5 to 10 minutes? Okay, do you want to facilitate it just to get us all awake? After Alex is done breaking up the morning hour for us, I'm going to go back and circle back to the GE, and we're going to do that Kahoot game that I worked so hard on. That's hopefully worked. That's my first time doing it, so we'll see if it works. And that's how we'll spend our time today, and just getting prepared for registration. So let's break up the hour. I don't want to lecture at everybody for the whole time, so let's do a little game, and then we'll dive back into GE and registration prep. Alex, take it away.
Okay, So there's this game. You guys, you all have probably heard it. It's called Soundball. Like, can y'all like do the raise hand like thing, just if you've ever heard about it? Okay, so basically, what we're gonna be doing. So I'll start. So I'm gonna be like this, and I'm gonna be Liz, and Liz is gonna go. She's gonna catch the ball, and then she's gonna go, and she's gonna make that sound again. So, and then now that she has it, she can make a different sound and pass it to whoever she wants. So she can go, Aline, wah, and Aline will go, wah, back. So is that understandable? Like that is like a quick like little summary of the game. Everyone? Okay. So Liz.
I'm gonna say Rebecca, Zoom.
Zoom. Elizabeth, whoosh.
Whoosh, Jennifer, Pew, fuck. Shoe, Haley.
Shoe, Christian, Zoom.
Zoom, Owen, Swish.
Swish, Crescencia.
I don't know. I can't think of another sound. So Zoom to Elsie. Zoom to Aline.
Alejandra.
Swoosh to Emily.
Zoom, Switch, Jennifer. Oh wait, she already went, right? Jackie. Whoosh.
Whoosh. Amal, Pow.
Pow. Who hasn't won? Grace, have you went? Okay. Wah! To Grace.
Zip to Erica.
Sorry, that took me forever. This to who hasn't gone? Elizabeth. I don't think I've heard from Elizabeth.
Wait, did she say my name?
Yes.
Okay. Swish to Owen.
Swish, Yip Yip to Rebecca.
Yip Yip. Pow to Amal.
Pow. And yikes to Emily.
Yikes. Switch to Alex.
Which to Liz. Sorry, Pow.
You say somehow? Bam to Jennifer.
Swoosh to Alejandra.
Swoosh. Pow pow to Elizabeth.
Pow pow. Swoosh to Jackie.
Swoosh, swoosh. Let's see. Boom to Christian.
Was that
Christian,
a
you got
last one?
Christian, you got to send us off with a sound, but just don't send it to anybody.
Okay. Toss to Amal.
Thank you. I'll take the toss, and we'll get wrapped up into GE. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for participating. Thanks for facilitating, Alex. Appreciate the energy, Liz. Thank you. All righty. Let me show you all the schedule for this week. Okay, I'm going to share my page. Okay, so today I want to focus on getting us prepared for registration. I want to kind of refresh us on some of the new concepts that we learned last week and prepare us with the tools that we already know, some of the concepts that we have just been practicing and really understand, and then I want to kind of close us off with a game. In preparation for registration, it's going to be a little bit different, obviously, because it's all online. I've never done this before to do like fully online registration, so we'll see how it goes. For day 8, which is Wednesday, that's when registration is. You will have a registration appointment. Everyone in Summer Bridge will have a registration appointment. That appointment, I think, is either 2 or 3 o'clock. The hour difference doesn't really matter. The point in saying that is to say that all of us are going to be online at exactly the same time. So as soon as we hit that hour, that's when registration would officially start. On registration day, what we're going to be doing is preparing for registration. So understanding how to put classes into our car, what classes do we need, what classes will get us closer to graduation on time, and checking in with our major to see if there's any classes that they want us to take our first semester. I hope by the time we got to this point that most of us were able to check out the Meet the Majors fair and see what our majors would prefer in terms of what they'd like us to take for year 1. And I hope that most of us were able to check out the advising guide sheets. I'm going to see if I can bring it up just so I could refresh our memory. Some people were having a hard time accessing the Meet the Majors fair. Actually, no one from this cohort, but a few people from other cohorts. So I tried to play around with the settings. I hope it still works as of this morning. So I'm hoping for everyone's major. And a lot of us have looked through this before it was live on Zoom because you all are my students and this was my project for Summer Bridge. So I made sure that all of you got access to this early, or at least were able to get familiarized with it early. So I want to make sure that all of you were able to check this out. Please, please check it out for your major or any major that you're interested in. And remember, in terms of what we talked about last week, this is a liberal arts college. So you're going to be taking classes in each of these different departments for your GE. So even if you're not 100% interested in maybe art or art history, it's going to be an optional class for you to take for general education. So I want to make sure that you're at least a little bit familiar with what the department is and what it has to offer, even if you're not going to be in their degree program, even if it's not your major or your minor. It's really important just to kind of have a big understanding of what Sonoma State has to offer and what classes you could potentially be taking for GE. A lot of the times students have no idea what GE classes they want to take. And then I kind of give suggestions and then students just like default into those suggestions. And I don't want it to be like, because Amal gave me a suggestion, that's exactly what I should do. I want us to build together an academic plan that you could feel that you got everything that you want out of the university experience. So if I suggest, hey, I think, you know, there's a communication class that I think might be good, what I hope that I could do as your advisor is tell you why I think it's good based on your personality style, based on your goals. I have a lot of students that are business majors, and they want to work with people, and they want to make businesses better, and they want to kind of advance the way clients interact with businesses. Well, as a potential GE class, I constantly recommend psychology for those students or sociology. But then my business students are like, what the heck is that? So check out this Meet the Major slide. It'll help us make some better decisions around figuring out what classes you could potentially pick for just GE. I think I had a few students in here that have taken a lot of Spanish classes. Y'all are coming in with a lot of AP Spanish and potentially AP French, I heard too. So then you can check out the department and maybe just take like 1 or 2 extras French or Spanish classes. You know you like it. You've taken it in high school. You've passed the AP exam. You know you're good at it. And if you're interested in learning more, then you can just at least take 1 class, right? So I just want us to get refamiliarized with the Meet the Majors slide, the slide deck. Also, if you look here, there's this advising sheet. So if you click on each major, it kind of gives you a synopsis of what each major believes, what they think would be a good year 1, semester 1 worth of classes for you all. So check these out too. For this one, I would just focus on my major or my minor for this one. Where the slide deck, you know, kind of explore and click around. This is also online, and I think I shared this last time, but I want to do it one more time just to make sure we're all good. So this is also online, and it's called First Year Advising Guides. Pulling up the site now. I'm going to throw it in the chat. Okay, so these are called First Year Advising Guides, throwing these in the chat. So you can choose by major here. This is a list of all our majors, or you can choose by school. So if you can recall our last conversation, we divided each of the majors into clusters of those who have like similar career paths. So those are called the schools. And each school has a title, you know, School of Arts and Humanities, School of Business, School of Ed, School of Social Science, and School of Science and Tech. So for example, if I click on, we have a handful of computer science in here. So if I click on computer science, gives us a little synopsis of what this is, the phone number of the department webpage, which will be really important. And this kind of lays it out in terms of what they're hoping for first year. So a lot of us are in English 101. A lot of us are in pre-enrolled into the math that we need. FLC means there are some classes that are year-long classes, so fall and spring, and some of those classes actually correlate with our major. Here is a list of the classes. So for those that are ethnic studies, we don't have a lot of ethnic studies, but this is a good class to take, even if you're not in the major. So ethnic studies, 165. This is a really good class to take too. Chicano Latino Studies, 165. Otherwise, a lot of you are chem or biochem, so a lot of you are going to be in the chem 120A. Let's see here. Some of you are really into language, but you don't have to major in this, but you can still take this class. It's called MLL 161A, so the year-long classes. That's about it for this. I would typically do my best to pick classes that are GE and also in my major. So if you know your major or minor might be in one of these topics, then I would do my best to try to get as many classes as I can that are in my major and in my minor that are also GE, because that way it'll double count on that circle that I showed last week. And I'll go back to that circle. What's nice about FLC classes is that they hit 2 general education requirements. So general education is usually divided up into segments. The segments are A through E. So A, B, C, D, E. And you got to hit a few of those components. So I'll go over that too. And you can see for computer science, they suggest computer science 115 and then they have a list of computer science classes. So if you just want to click around here during your own time and just, a lot of us are criminal justice, so I think I've talked about criminal justice too for a lot of us. So that gives us some suggestions in terms of what to take for fall and spring. So please feel free to check this out. I want to go back to the circle. Here's a circle. So this circle I constantly go over with students. It's really the best and easiest way to go over all the graduation requirements. Graduation requirements are typically, you have to have a minimum, not a maximum, not approximately, but you gotta have a minimum of 120 units. A lot of students graduate with like maybe a little bit over, because it all depends on the major and the minor, and if you change your major or minor maybe late in the game. So it's, everyone's graduation plan is different, but you wanna have a minimum of 120 units. Now, approximately GE is around 50, but you wanna save 3 GE classes, what's called 9 units. So average classes are about 3 units. So you wanna save 3 GE classes for when you're a junior and a senior. So please do not take all your GE classes for freshman, sophomore year, and then think, okay, so I'm done with GE, now I can go into my major. You want to do it as a braid. So if you are declared, you want to do a little bit of major, a little bit of electives, a little bit of GE, a little bit of major, a little bit, so you braid it every semester for all your 8 semesters, because you want as many classes to count for as many graduation requirements as possible. So if you look at the circle, you can think to yourself that there are some classes that hit multiple slices in the pie. So you can take a GE that is also a major class. Because if you end up taking, a lot of folks are bio in here. So if you end up taking a bio class and you see it on the GE list, then that means that class double counts for multiple graduation requirements. So as much as we can, we're gonna be attempting, as your advisor, I'm gonna do my best to help you pick classes that hit on multiple slices of the pie. That doesn't mean that that class double counts. For example, if you end up taking a 3-unit bio class and it counts for GE and your major, it doesn't count for 6 units. So it's still a 3-unit class. It just means that you have enough room to take electives. So a lot of my students have minors, and minors is really like a specialty in your degree and could have nothing to do with your major. So any questions about this? You can unmute and I'll be quiet for a second. Okay, awesome. So in the GE, we have a list. This list is online, and there's a list of recommended, oh wait, hold on. There's a list of all approved GE classes at Sonoma State. This is online. This list is my favorite. You'll have many advisors that give many different resources to students, but this one is usually the best one that I see. I'm gonna throw it in the chat so we can all have it and save it to our desktops and computers and phones. So I'm gonna walk us through it. So this is all the GE approved classes at Sonoma State. So this is like pages on pages on pages, but I'm gonna walk us through each little segment so it'll make sense. So I mentioned that the GE is divided up into different areas. So because when I talked about Sonoma State being an interdisciplinary college, you're gonna be taking classes in different degree programs, even if they're not your major. So the GE is divided up into those different schools. So you get to take a class in each of those different schools. So School of Arts and Humanities, School of Social Science, you get to take a class in each of those things. So, but this document, the one that I'm about to go through, the one that I just sent on the chat, has every single class that is in that GE category. That's called general education. You do not take every class that's on here. We pick classes in each of the clusters. So I'll go over each cluster right now. So every student needs to leave the university by taking a communication and critical thinking class. Those are divided into 3 different segments. So we have oral communication, written communication, and critical thinking. We recommend, not require, but recommend that students take all of their area A, so this is called area A in GE, all of their area A in year 1. That's our recommendation, because the longer you wait, the more difficult it is for you to get classes in area A. Now, usually for A1, my recommendation, unless you have an interest in a major or a minor, my recommendation would be AMCS 125. I can highlight in case those who are not writing, who actually are just taking screenshots. My recommendation would be AMCS 125, but a lot of these classes are really, really good. But the reason why I do AMCS 125 is because I know a professor that teaches the class. My students really like her, and she's my friend, and her name is Dr. Erica Tom. And some sections will be open for registration on Wednesday. For A2, we're all pre-enrolled in English 101, so we're all going to take care of area A2 by the time we're done with fall. For A3, my recommendation would be Philosophy 101. However, if you'd like to take these classes, feel free to check them out. This math class, I think, has a prerequisite, and prerequisite means that you have to take a class before you take the class. So it means that there's another class that we need to take before we take that math class. So we can't just take that math class without taking the pre-class. So it's called prerequisite. So we always want to check on classes just in case they block us, because some classes have a prerequisite. If you're interested in law, maybe being a lawyer or minoring in philosophy, I think maybe a handful of you are based on our one-on-ones. Instead of Philosophy 101, consider Philosophy 102, because that's more logic, more law thinking. Critical thinking is, it's more like it's a general philosophy class. And before I showed you the first year-long learning community classes, these are them here. So they count as A3 and they double count as a different GE area because they're year-long classes. The ones I recommend again are the AMCS 165B or the CALS 165A and B. They're all going to be A and B classes. Alex or Liz, if you all could help me with the chat, and if you all think that I should answer some of the questions, let me know. So that's all you need for area A, by the way. For area B, it gets a little bit complicated, but I'll walk us through it. We need a minimum of 12 units in area B. Area B is split up into 4 segments. First segment is physical science. And I'm giving you these recommendations because when registration comes up this week on Wednesday, a lot of us are pre-enrolled in English and math, and our university class, which is required for first semester, first-year students. And then after that, we need to pick some GE classes, not electives, not potential things for our minor, but GE classes that could potentially hit our major, our declared major. So we usually pick a physical science. I actually will stop doing recommendations for now only because I want to do our Kahoot game. So I'm going to try to go through this. If you need recommendations, talk to me, Liz, or Alex. So yeah, you do one class in physical science, a lower division. Lower division is $2.99 or below. You do a biological science. I'll have a lot of bio majors, so please check out the first year advising guides on the website or the first year advising sheets that's attached to Meet the Majors to figure out which bio you need. And the reason why it's a little bit complicated is because you've got to save one section in area B for upper division. So do not do all your sciences in year 1, because in B3, usually students that are upper division take a B3. And then here's your math. And math is typically decided by your major. Then you got to take 12 units of arts and humanities, 1 art, cinema, dance, music, theater class. And remember, it's going to be $2.99 or below. 1 literature, philosophy, languages, any other English class. There's a level 2 of English if you all really like the English class that you're in right now too. And there's also a language class. So a lot of us took language in high school, and we can potentially even take a language in college. We got to take a social science class, 12 units. So 1 individual and society class, a lot of learning about self. 1 world history civilization class. We have to take a history class. Actually, history is a graduation requirement. A California State University graduation requirement. Got to take that history class. Got to take a political science class. It is a graduation requirement. We take 1 international perspectives course, and that's all for social science. On our last GE is Area E, integrated person. I typically recommend taking this class as a lower division student. Because a lot of the classes do not double count as an upper division student, so I would recommend taking Area E as a lower division student. For a graduation requirement, we have to take a lab, which means Area B with 1 star, and we have to take a class in ethnic studies, which is actually really important considering what's happening right now in our world. So that's a class with a double star. So my favorite is being able to take a class that's in here, right, has a double star, but could potentially be our major or minor. So that's as much as we want to take as many classes that count as multiple things on our graduation plan. Some of us were considering sociology minors. So right here, this would be a good class because it has the ethnic studies requirement and it's a GE and it's in something that I'm interested in. Let me go back to the labs to show you what that looks like. So most of the labs, well, a lot of them are in the sciences, right? But the labs here, they have the 1 star. So instead of taking astronomy 100 and then combining it with maybe bio 115, I would recommend not doing that because then you don't have one of the classes that has a star. You want to take as many classes that hit multiple graduation requirements as possible. So if you decide you want to do this as a science, then your next science needs to have a lab. And if you decide to do this as your science, bio 115, then your science up here needs to have a lab. So then you can pick maybe a physics class with a lab. Hope that makes a little bit of sense.
Amal, could you possibly scroll down? The students can't see you on your screen.
Oh, they can't see me?
Yeah, they can't see what you're talking about, like the stars and like all the classes.
Oh, okay. I'll reshare and you guys can tell me. Thanks, Liz. Can we see now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Is there anything you all want me to repeat? I'm not looking at the chat, so I hope you and Alex got it. Anything you want me to repeat? Want me to show the stars again?
Yeah, probably the stars.
Okay. So if we go, okay, first let me go to the bottom of the screen. So here at the bottom of the screen, it shows that I need a lab, and that has 1 star. And then I need an ethnic studies, which has 2 stars. So those are graduation requirements. And then if I go to, for example, if I just scroll down through this GE, I see here, like this class that I mentioned that I would recommend, it has 2 stars. So that's an ethnic studies requirement. So that class counts for multiple graduation requirements. So it counts for ethnic studies and it counts for GE. If I go here, these classes have 1 star, so they count as a lab. So I just want to think about when I take my physical sciences, sometimes it gets a little complicated with Area B. And we'll go over this. Don't feel like you got to know everything. We're literally going to go over it again on Wednesday. We'll go over it again after you pick your classes. We'll continue to go over this to make sure we're on the right track. Don't feel like you got to know everything today. And so this class right here, so for example, I need to take a lab in my Area B, but Area B is split into 2 different segments. So I have to choose which of these segments, either biological science or the physical science, which one do I want to take a lab in? Because sometimes you just end up picking your favorite, like, hey, I want astronomy and I want, you know, bio 115, introduction to bio. That sounds easy to me. because I'm not a bio major. Well, if you do that, then you're going to have to go back and take another bio class that has a lab. So you want to choose your classes carefully. You want to make sure they hit multiple graduation requirements. So you're not just hopping in there trying to choose, any class. You want to make sure you're choosing the classes that have multiple things. So make sure I get a class with 1 star. Make sure I get a class with a double star so I can count for my ethnic studies requirement right here. Did that answer the question, Liz, that popped up?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Sorry, y'all, I didn't realize my screen paused. Was there anything else that came up that you all need me to discuss in regards to GE? I know we didn't get to do my game. Would we rather pass it and worry about it next time? Or should I ask Kyle to give us an extra 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll play it? What would you guys rather? Everyone's cameras are off. I don't know what's happening. Can someone unmute and tell me what you think the group would prefer? Oh, it's gonna be hard to do it in our breakout because it's around this GE stuff, so I want to explain the answers. Thanks for the suggestion, though. Was that too much? Let's play the game. Okay, cool. Haley, enthusiasm. So, Kyle, are you around? He's not.
I'm here. What's up?
Can I play a game and then give them a break and they'll come at you a little bit late? Would that be okay?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you. All right, y'all. Woo! I'm excited. Okay. I've been working on this for like 2 days. Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can bring it up. Okay, so this game is called, it's called Kahoot. And let's see if I can share my screen. Here we go. It's called Kahoot, and you play it with your phones. So let's see. And basically you go to the Kahoot website. And hold on, give me a second before I say something and it's like, wait, I didn't mean to say that. Okay, so you go to the Kahoot website and you type in this number, this pin to this website, if that makes sense. And basically, once you get there, there's going to be like different shapes on your phone, but the shapes don't correspond with the same color because it's kind of like a trickster game. And I put like 10 questions on there, and the 10 questions are around all the things that I went over the past 2 days around GE. I hope it's fun. I'm not that creative, so I was really working hard. If it's fun, please let me know. The winner of the game, you're competing with each other to see who understands the information. The winner of the game, I can't send you anything, and I don't have prizes since you're not in front of me, so you're just gonna have bragging rights, I guess. That's all you got for now, unless Alex and Liz can help me think of something to give you, but maybe facilitating an icebreaker or something. But I don't have anything to like hand you over. If you remember that you won, and when we finally see each other in the spring, I'd be happy to give you some Sonoma State swag. So basically we enter into the game. I'll wait to see if there's anyone else who's gonna enter. And then it shows us your score. It shows the highest scoring person, and you basically pick the right answer. And I made some questions, and you have like 20 to 30 seconds to pick the answer. And then if you two can help me manage the chat, make sure I'm on the right page. If you can't play the game due to, maybe cell phone connection or anything else, that's totally okay, because I'm just gonna go over the answers out loud. So I'll start the game, and this is my first time doing this, so please be patient with me. Boom. Okay, so GE in college means, and you should see these on your phone. Remember, the colors don't match. Oh, you all are fast. Yes! So it does not mean generic education. So it means general education. Yes, exactly. General education, back to that liberal arts philosophy for Sonoma State. So you want to know a little bit about a lot, and that's what general education, that's the term that they gave to our GE program, general education. Cool, thank you. Here we go. Here's a leaderboard. All right, so GE courses are classes to advance our strong analytical and writing skills for a job, something I need to do to get through college, something my advisor is making me do. Yes. Okay, guys, it's not high school all over again. It's similar, but it's obviously advanced classes from high school. So yeah, classes I need to advance to make sure I have strong and analytical and writing skills to make sure that I'm prepared for the workforce. Thank you all. Hey, get it. How many units do I need to graduate? A minimum of 120, a maximum of 120, around 120. Yes, a minimum of 120. Because sometimes your major may require classes that maybe go over a point or two. So yes, a minimum of 120. Absolutely. So for those who picked maximum of 120, I think, or somebody picked around 120. So some students go over the 120, especially if you're going to double major. So, or especially if you're going to take some GE classes, like additional electives. So some students go over, so it's a minimum of 120. Here we go. Okay, what is a major? What I get when I graduate, a specialized degree. That's what they call grades in college. Yes. Okay, I think I made these too easy. Yes, so that is the name of our degree program. That's what you get when you get a major. There we go. Okay. Jennifer's getting it. All right, guys, what's a minor? Too many electives, not enough electives. A minor infraction, yes. A minor infraction is actually like a legal term. Yes. Specialization in my degree, and it does not have to be in the same school of my degree program. Perfect. A lot of people are bio, they want to be doctors, but they're thinking about a Spanish minor because they really want to specialize in supporting bilingual patients. So it does not have to be in your major department. How many advisors do I have? One advisor, two advisors. Well, it kind of depends on if I have a major or a minor, what my degree program is. I can have as many as I want. Oh, okay, cool. I did a trick one finally. So if you end up having two majors, like if you end up double majoring and you have an advisor in each major, then some of you will have more than two advisors. But typically it's two advisors, and it all depends on what the degree programs you're enrolled in. Nice. I'm happy I tricked. Hey, Crescencia is moving up. How many units do I take each semester? $15 units, an average of 15 units. I thought it was 12. It all depends. Yes. Thank you. Yes, it's true that 12 units is full-time. And if you take 12 units, you'll be just as busy as somebody who's taking, 15, like it's just as busy. It's just as time consuming. But if you want to graduate on time, it's not exactly 15, it's an average of 15. Because each semester you're going to have a variation of units, and some of us are going to be oh, they got a fire sign on here? Nice. Never even seen that before. Okay, taking summer classes at a junior college is encouraged because SSU wants me to get the heck out of here because it's free and it'll help me get ahead on my units because they want me to waste my money. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, it's free. And remember, when you take classes at a JC, it's only lower division classes. Okay, so only classes that are required for freshmen and sophomores. Jennifer with the fire sign. What's my max deadline to change my major? Whenever I want, before I hit 60 units. It all depends. ASAP. I was trying to put some trick questions. Yes, yes, before I hit 60 units. I see we're all over the board on this one. So for sure, as soon as possible, that's important, but there's no pressure, right? Before I hit 60, which means before I become a junior. Anytime is true, but for those who are trying to get into impacted majors, that is not true because impacted majors have deadlines. So anytime for generally, yes, but then you're going to have to talk to those impacted majors. And depends on my majors, that's kind of like the same answer. Perfect. Get it? Okay, handful of questions left. When are students recommend to retake classes? When I fail, but I thought D's get degrees. When I have a low GPA. Yeah, oh shoot, you guys all got this one. Yes, yes, a lot of my students get confused about this one, but you guys are not. I love it, I love it. Y'all are really motivating me. Yeah, if you get a C- or below in any class, we highly encourage you to retake, but remember, do not retake unless you know for sure you're gonna get better than a C- or below. Because anytime you retake a class, it's a grade replacement. So if you retake a class, you get lower than a C-, that lower grade will be on your transcript. How many units is each class in college? Yes, yes, yes. Classes average between 1 and 6 units. My gosh, you guys are on fire. Jackie got the fire side. Okay, what do I need to take my first semester? I was hoping this could be a tricky one. Math, English, univ, elective. Math, English, univ, whatever the heck I want to take. Math, English, university, GE, major. Yes, 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 exactly, exactly, exactly. Yeah, so sure, you can take whatever you want, just make sure it fits with your degree plan, and the degree plan starts with the GE, for those who answered that. Sure, you can take electives, but we want to save our electives for when we consider we want to add a minor. So for sure, we want to start with the GE major classes. Get it, Jennifer. Okay, true or false? I tried to make this one tricky. I take all my GE classes my first 2 years. True, just like a JC. False. I save at least 3 GE classes for, oh, nice, 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 nice. Thank you. Yeah, you don't take them whenever you want. You got to spread them out between freshman, junior, sophomore year. Thank you. And true, that way I'll be ready for my, yep. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Jennifer's still in the lead. Okay, 2 more questions. Lower division classes for freshmen and sophomores are numbered 300 or above, 299 or below. My major will tell me, just call your advisor. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Any classes, lower division is always 299 or below. You can talk to your major advisor to see if you're eligible to take a class that's over 300 or above. So those who click number blue, but the correct answer is 299 or below. Elsie, coming up there. All right, last question. GE requirements are Area A through E, Ethnic Studies, Lab, History, Political Science, and 9 units of upper division. Just 50 units. Area A through E, some upper division, including polls and history. Or just figure out your area A through E. I was trying to be tricky. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. We need areas A through E. We absolutely need an ethnic studies class. We absolutely need a lab. History and polls are graduation requirements, and you need to save 9 units in upper division. Complex, but don't worry. That's why they hired me. Perfect. Perfect. Nice. Thank you. Let's see here. Let's go next. Jennifer! Alejandra, number 1. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. This is so dramatic. Crescencia. Hey! Get it! Get it! Damn, taking notes. Let me unshare this screen. Congratulations. I hope that was helpful. I hope that can help us put everything into a perspective of like how we can plan for this week's registration. I'm going to hand you over to Kyle. Maybe take a few minutes and use the bathroom. Take a break. Do not leave the Zoom. Remember, just turn off your Zoom and turn off your camera for just 5 minutes. Take a break. Come back in. Kyle, is there anything else you want them to know before they leave?
10:10 sounds good. I'll see you guys at 10:10.
Cool. See you all soon. Bye. Have a great day. See you at financial aid. Remember, come over to financial aid.
All right. If I can bring you guys back now, that'd be great. So a few things as we get started today. There's a number of you who have not yet completed the stuff that was supposed to get done on Friday. So just to kind of recap what was supposed to happen on Friday. Friday, you were supposed to develop a question, submit it into the discussion forum, and then reply. And then from that, I developed some groups. And so those members that actually showed up to the Zoom session after that discussion were put into these groups, and some of those groups got started. So those people that were in those groups, they got kind of pushed to the front of the line because they've already started working on their shared question, and they were able to do that. And then that night, there was you're supposed to kind of complete what your question was going to be. And if you weren't in those groups, then maybe you did it individually, but many of you did not do that as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take those that were in those groups and I'm going to send them to the breakout room. Those of you that are going into the breakout room, I'll jump in a little bit. It's going to take a moment. But basically what you're going to be doing is preparing for your presentation. You're going to get a dry run of it at 11 o'clock. And so you got about an hour to kind of look at the feedback that I gave on Canvas on your submissions, and then start putting together that PowerPoint presentation that you have access to. Let me go ahead and share my screen just to kind of remind you where we're going with some of this. So let me pull this up. All right, so going to our summer bridge course and going to starting day 6 and going to our session here. Okay, so you're going to start working on your presentation, and that's due by 11 o'clock. There's a link to the actual presentation slides. I'll just actually throw it in here right now while I've got it, while I've got you here. So let me go ahead and just put the link right here. Okay, so the presentation template is there. It's also back on the day 5 slides too, so if you have access to it. But now you have access to the file. So those, I'm gonna go ahead and send you away to that. Any questions from those individuals that are in those groups before I send you to those groups? All right, then I'm gonna go ahead and send you guys on their way. And the rest of you that stay behind, you are the ones that are not in a group. So that after those invites go and they get kind of on their way. Okay. All right, so those groups are starting to fill out, and there are some that are left behind here. Okay. Okay, so those of you that are here and did not get a group assignment, you have a different task ahead of you. You actually just need to do the work that was supposed to get done on Friday over this next hour. So you need to get into that data and identify the questions. So let me go ahead and I'm still sharing my screen. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the day 5 assignment and talk about what was happening there. So on day 5, Oh. Oh, Eileen, I think the reason why I didn't assign you, because you sent something that wasn't related to what your group had done. So I'm going to go ahead and just send you to your group that I had you in originally.
Yeah, sorry, because I didn't realize that we were submitting the questions after we came up as a group.
Oh, okay. I got you.
My-
Do you know what group were you in?
I'm with Rebecca.
What was the name?
I think Destiny. Oh, Team Heart Rate.
Got it. All right.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. And then, Crescentia, were you assigned a group on Friday?
Yeah, I was with Christian and Elsie.
You know what the, okay, I see it.
Yeah.
All right, you're on your way. Cool. All right, so going to day 5 to see on kind of playing catch up here. What was to happen when we click on day 5 was that you were to go to this discussion board and kind of come up with some research questions with your peers. So if I go to that discussion board, the idea was that you were to reply to this discussion board with one or more research questions related to the summer bridge data that we had come up with. And let me minimize this a little bit so I can see a little better. Yeah, so looking at the data and come up with a research question. And for each of these questions that you come up with, which of the variables from the summer bridge data set that you'll analyze, investigate your question, and then the type of graph that you'll use to display the variables. So this is really taking a step forward from what we had done the day before, where I had you play around in StatKey with the data set with a few of the different variables and just get comfortable enough with the types of graphs that you would use. So that's what I need you guys to do now. And it can just be in the chat. You can answer these questions here individually in the chats, or you can unmute yourself and tell me what you think some possible questions might be. And just to kind of, as you're kind of thinking about these a little bit and maybe pulling up the data set, reminder on the data set, we have access to the data set in a couple different places. If I go back to day before, so on day 4, and look at the data set there. The data set here, if I go to the StatKey self-paced assignment, and in the actual assignment from Thursday is the link to the summer bridge data set. So you should have at least completed this aspect so you're familiar with how to work with StatKey, and then you can get the access to the data set and you can work through that way. Okay. Okay. Erica, what group are you in again? What name of the group? Shoe. Okay, you're on your way. I'm wondering if it's a Zoom. Oh, no, you're there. Okay. All right. So any questions on what it is that I'm asking you to do over this next hour that are not in these breakout groups? So I've got Grace and I've got Jennifer here. What it is that you need to be doing over this next hour to develop this question so you can actually get ready to do a presentation tomorrow.
So do you want us to do it in the chat or where we originally were supposed to?
So you can just go ahead and do it in the chat. So just let me know what question you want to explore and what type of graph that you're thinking that you're going to be seeing from that.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that we're on the right track so that when you start producing the StatKey output, it's actually meaningful stuff. Grace, are you on board with what you need to do too?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna jump over and start bouncing around to the breakout rooms, but I'll come back, and you guys can drop something in the chat if you need me to come back over. And since the two of you are here, you might even want to chat a little bit about maybe working together on something too. I'm not opposed to that. All right. So is any of the groups ready to go? So there's a couple things that you would need to do. The first thing you would do is you're going to want to upload the file. So if you go to our day 6, you go to our day 6 and click on the link. You should, and click on the link for the presentation. There should be a upload link in the upper right hand corner so you can upload the file. So you're going to want to do that. And I think because of the way this is set up, you're probably going to want to do some quick file sharing with each other so that everybody can upload it. But I think that the important part will be the presentation part, but that's one thing that you're going to want to need to do. So if you're not doing that now, like if everybody doesn't have access to the file right now, that's okay. Just make sure you get a file shared amongst everybody in your group so everybody can upload it. But is there a group that's ready to present? You guys need a little bit more time to work on it? No? Okay. So then it's just a matter of somebody stepping up to the plate.
We'll go.
All right. Go ahead and take over the screen share. And then you can get going.
Do I click the desktop share or is it application?
You can do desktop and then you can, or you can do application. Either one's going to be fine. Whichever one has, if you want to just share the application that has your PowerPoint up, that's fine too.
Do we need to be given like access though? Because you can't click the share button.
I can't. It doesn't let me share my screen.
Huh.
You have to be made like a co-host or something? I don't know.
Well, let me try. Yeah, let me try. Go ahead and making you a co-host on that then. Okay, so who's going to share their screen?
I can.
Say your name. I'm sorry. I've got multiple things up.
Oh, Aline.
Okay. All right. Now, can you share your screen?
Let me see. No.
That's weird. Because on mine, it says that all participants can share. Okay, well, another way this can happen is, have you gone through the upload process? So let me go ahead and share my screen and talk about that process really quick.
Oh, I think I got it.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. Give me one
Go-
sec. Let me just. Can you see it?
Yay.
Okay, let me just make this present. Okay, there you go.
Cool. All right, you guys get started.
Okay.
Hello.
So, oh,
Great. Oh, sorry. Do you want to go?
Oh, okay. So, we're Team Heart Rate. Okay.
Our research question is, was the level of change in heart rate greater between the baseline heart rate and after meditation heart rate, or between the after meditation heart rate and brisk activity heart rate? And what that means is just comparing how much heart rate changed for different activities.
And then the purpose was to find how changes in activity affect our heart rates. And the variables that we had to use were baseline heart rate, after meditation heart rate, and brisk activity heart rate. So it was 3 different variables. Oh, shoot.
So the first graph is comparing the baseline heart rate and after meditation heart rate. I believe, yeah, meditation heart rate is on the y-axis and resting heart rate is on the bottom. And the second graph is just the other two.
And so what we could see in like the summary, the five summary is that so for the resting heart rate, like we can see these numbers have a really like small change compared to, so this number, from this number to this number, the different means, you can see that there's not that much of a difference. But if we go to these ones, you can see that it's like a larger change. So making this one, the meditation heart rate and the brisk activity heart rate, like the greater change out of like, so pretty much this one is the greater change, and it answers the question of which one is going to have the greater change in like meditation heart rate and brisk activity, or the others two that we compared.
So in conclusion, the state of a student's resting heart rate has been noticed to decrease when after meditating rather than after brisk activity, which causes the heart rate to increase within students. In this 5-number summary, it shows the pattern of the student's heart rate was 72.037 and had decreased to 65.056 after participating in a meditation session. A specific activity a person participates in affects their heart rates because certain activities involve more work and effort, like brisk activity, unlike applying any movements to exhausting a person, which is meditation.
That's
presentation.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. All right. That was great, you guys. So each of you should have a copy of that slides. So if you don't already, go ahead and share them with each other so that you can all upload. And then I saw in the chat, Haley was asking about peer review, and I'll show you how peer review works as well with that. So let me just do some quick student view on my end, so that way we can go through that process. So I'll show you how this is done by sharing my screen before we go to the next group. So here I am in Canvas, and if I go to today's activity, and I go to the research presentation, so each of you will go to this location and then click on the submit assignment. And so you'll all be submitting your version, your PowerPoint, choose the file, submit the file, and then go from there. So when you choose that file, upload that file, and submit that assignment, then you'll have access to your submission. And some of them I've already submitted. Now, let's talk a little bit about peer review. So all of you will also been assigned a peer review. So when you click on peer review, here is a list of all the individuals and then who they've been peer reviewed to. Now you only get assigned the peer review when you have uploaded the file. So if it hasn't been uploaded yet, then those peer reviews will pop up after the fact. And if they haven't, then I'll jump in and make sure that you get assigned some peer reviews. What that means is that you'll have, when you click on peer review, you'll have access to 2 students or 3 students files that you can kind of look over and make some comments on. And so that's what you're going to be asked to do. Is just give some positive feedback, one piece of constructive feedback on your peer reviews. And if you want some more details, there's some student guides on how peer review works. Peer review, like just in more broadly across what you'll be doing this next semester, has probably been one of the most beneficial things to my students, because let's say, you know, I go and I upload my assignment and I didn't do so well, right? But then I don't know that I didn't do so well. I think I did well. And then I go in to do a peer review and I see somebody else's work and I say, oh, wow, they really nailed it. They really figured this out. And now I have a better idea of what I could have done better in the future. And then when you revise your work, you can take your peer reviews into consideration to make it better. So hopefully that answers the question about peer review. Does another group want to go?
Are we just reviewing like how they did like presenting or how their slides are?
Both are fine. You can comment on either.
Okay.
Yeah, can we go next?
Yeah, go ahead.
Team Shoe.
You got a screen, share the screen?
I think Elizabeth's going to do the screen share.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. So we're Team Shoe, and my name is Erica Diaz Ramirez.
My name is Owen.
And my name is Elizabeth.
And our question for our team is, Elizabeth, can you change the slide? Thank you. Is there a relationship between shoe size and the amount of shoes owned? And here's the graph of the pairs of shoes on the y-axis and the shoe size on the x-axis.
Sorry. Here's our summary statistics. So our mean for shoe size is 8.007 and pairs of shoes is 10.602. Our standard deviation for shoe size is 1.854 and then pairs of shoes is 8.261. The sample size is 216. The correlations is negative 0.311. The slope is negative 1.385, and intercept is 21.689.
Next slide. Okay. So for ours, Elizabeth, can you go back to the second slide, please? So for the majority, there doesn't seem to be a linear relationship between shoe size and pairs of shoes. Like the bigger size shoes you wear, the more pairs of shoes you have. But there does seem to be a more concentrated amount between a whole body of the data points are around 20 pairs of shoes and below. And that seems to be consistent throughout all shoe sizes. We did find a few outliers between like size pair of size 4 with 50 pairs of shoes. There's one with the shoe size of 7 with 60 pairs of shoes, which is interesting. But throughout all shoe sizes, the ratio of shoe pairs is pretty level. So if you want to go back to the fourth slide, Elizabeth, please. And that concludes our presentation. Thank you.
Great job. Okay. Is there another group that wants to go? And then also just remind you guys, make sure you all have a copy of the slides so all of you in the group can upload your slides for peer review. Another group ready to go? Whenever another group is ready.
Should we just go?
That sounds like a great idea.
Can you share it, Christian?
Okay, I could try.
Okay.
And is there a way we could move this this Zoom part of the screen?
Yeah, there's like a little minimize. You got it?
Oh yeah, I was able to reach it.
Cool.
Okay. So this is our friendliness data research presentation.
So to start off, our question was, what is the change in friendliness level between baseline and after brisk activity? And here in our data, we can see that there's not a lot of change after activity, but there's a few outliers.
For the descriptive statistics, our mean was negative 0.060, meaning that we did have a small drop in friendliness rate, so it did go down. So yeah, so that's our descriptive statistics.
Okay, so for our data analysis, we noticed that a positive change would mean that friendliness levels increased upon performing a brisk activity, and likewise a negative change means that friendliness levels decreased after performing a brisk activity. And so to conclude, there really wasn't any change, not really much of a correlation between friendliness levels and brisk activities. However, there was a slight decrease. The mean was negative 0.06, but I mean that's very close to zero, meaning that there really isn't much change. Thank you.
All right. We're either, was it, oh, I think the other group needed a little bit more work on the data sheet. So I think we can do that. And so make sure that everyone's shared the file with everybody else in your group so you can all upload the file to Canvas. So that way you can do the peer review part. And then the next step for these groups, so some of them will still kind of get going and working on a few things, but the next step is to share again. So the next step for tomorrow is okay, so you're going to review the feedback that you got from your peers. So you'll go to the assignment and you can see the feedback that you get. It'll appear much like the comments that I provided on the assignments so far. So you'll see that in those little boxes. And then you're just going to want to spend some time talking with your group and revising and using that feedback to make some changes so that you can give a better presentation on Tuesday. Okay. And then we'll have a sign up sheet that'll get posted here. So you can kind of sign up for a particular time to give that presentation. And I'll give some feedback as well on the assignment and on the presentation. So you can use those, revise your assignment, upload the assignment just like you did. So you'll have the kind of revised slides that you'll upload, and then you can upload that to this assignment as well. And that's due by tomorrow night at midnight. So the slides and the presentation will all kind of get uploaded by tomorrow at midnight. Questions about that?
So we meet with you before we submit it?
You don't have to meet with me, but I do have office hours. So if you want to pop into office hours today at 2:30 to 3:30, I'm happy to go over some stuff with you. But I'm going to jump right in before then and give you some feedback on the slides that have been uploaded, so you'll have access to that too. So you'll have access to that before 2:30. So, okay, but no, you're not required to go to office hours. But if you want to come to office hours to get some more feedback from me, then that's fine too. Okay. And that sign up sheet will get uploaded probably around 1 o'clock or so. Any other questions? Okay. So for those that presented, you're free to go until Alex's session in about 30 minutes at noon. For the group that still needed a little bit of help with the spreadsheet, hang around and I can help you with that. And then also any of the individuals who had not been assigned to a group and want some help on your questions and presentations, then I'm happy to do that too. But otherwise, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Okay.
Can everyone stay on, actually?
And then the group that needed some help with the spreadsheet. Does anybody have a non-Mac computer in that group? Haley does. Elizabeth does. Okay. So the only reason why I want to have you guys follow along with it is because I just don't know how to work with the Mac numbers program, but I do know how to work with Excel, and you have access to Excel. And you could also just do this in Google Sheets too. But do you guys have Excel on your computer, or do you have just Google Sheets?
I just have Google Sheets and I try to transfer it in. I like transfer the data in Google Sheets, but then after that I still got lost. So
Okay, that's fine. I'll just work in Google Sheets, and I'll show you how to do this in Google Sheets.
okay.
So let me go ahead and share my screen. And then I'm going to jump all the way back to day 4 where the data was, to grab the file and have it up in Google Sheets. All right, so in Google Sheets, I've got the data, and we were looking at, hold on. Crescentia, just really quick, because you just uploaded your file, it's going to be like I'll sign the peer reviews, but it probably won't be until closer to noon. So around noon is when I'll get the peer reviews set up for you, so you have access to them.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Okay, so you guys are looking at energy, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this value right here is the energy level for baseline, right? And let me, I need to open this in Google Sheets. There we go. Okay, so here is the baseline energy number. Okay, and then we're interested in also the energy number for, sorry, I guess this is your base energy number. Okay, and then we're also interested in the energy number for meditation right here. So I'm going to go to the column right next to it, and I'm just going to go ahead and insert a column. Okay, so I right clicked on this Y, and then I could choose to insert one on the left. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the equation that looks at the difference between these two. So equals meditation energy minus base energetic. And it's going to give me this weird thing because there's no actual numbers that are there. But I can take this now and copy it, click on the column, and then paste. So I could be using this edit to copy and paste, but I'm using the shortcut, the keyboard shortcuts of Control-C and Control-V through those shortcuts. And now I have the column that has my difference that I'm after. So this is the change in energy. And this is the column that you would then use in StatKey.
Can I see you place in like the letter and number thing again? Because I was trying to do it while I was like.
Yeah. Okay, so you have a new column, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so I'm going to create an equation, and so I'm going to do that by clicking in that first cell, and I'm going to hit the equals sign, and that tells Sheets that I'm doing an equation, and then I can move with my cursor over to where the numbers are I'm interested in.
Oh.
So meditation energy, so that you know, see it says like X1 right now, because that's that cell.
Mm-hmm.
And then I say, okay, I'm going to subtract from X1, and then I move over to where the base energetic is, and I can do that one there.
Oh, okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, cool. All right, so that should hopefully, once you get the column, let's make sure you get the column correct before we I let you finish up with the StatKey part. So just let me know when you finish that.
So I'm trying to do the copy, and I kind of lost how to do it.
Okay, I'll go back. Oh, I'm in that one. Hold on. Okay, so you've got in this cell something that looks like this, right? Where it says like X1 minus O1. Okay, that's the cell I want to copy. So when I click on that cell, I want to copy that cell. So I'm going to go edit, copy. And then where I'm going to click is right above that Y, that selects the entire column.
Okay.
And now when I have that entire column, I can go edit, paste. And now I have all the numbers.
Copy and then edit, paste.
And then I've got a request from somebody to show how to put data into StatKey. So I'm just going to go through that process with your guys' column, if you don't mind. So I've got that. I'm going to save this now. So I'm going to download as a CSV file. And now when I go to StatKey, I'm going to go, okay, well, now we're looking at one quantitative variable. And I'm going to upload a file. And that's today's upload. And then I find that column. It's the one that has a funky name, but whatever the name of the variable is, like there's the energy category, there's the metadata energetic number. I'm going to choose in this case that difference. And now I can create my box plot and see that there was not a lot of change that happened there. Median's still at 0. Jennifer, does that help? Or do you want to see it with something else too? Cool. So did you guys get that set up? Are you guys good to go? Cool. So yeah, just go ahead and upload your slides when you're ready. Share your slides with each other, upload them, and then you can do the peer review after that. Okay. Is there anybody else that's still on that needs a hand with some of this? Okay. Well, I will still remain here. I'm just going to go ahead and mute myself. I'll be here if you have any questions. You can pop up and just say something, or you can put something into the chat. But otherwise, just be back for Alex's session at noon.
Um, can you guys share your email with me so I can share the slides with you? Okay, I just shared it, so let me know if you get it.
Yes, I received the presentation. Thank you.
Is the stat key still not working, Jackie?
Yeah, so I thought it was working, but what's it called? I don't know. It just says like function doesn't work because there's letters, and like this thing won't allow me to do it. So yeah, I don't know.
You want me to have a look at it?
Sure. I mean, I thought I did it and I thought I picked the right one, but I guess I'm just trying to get the right letters.
Stat key, sometimes you have to select the thing that says that there's a like a column
No, I meant
header.
the Google Doc. Like the Google Doc won't let me get my data. Like it says that I'm entering text instead of numbers to get a number out.
Oh yeah, that's back to that numbers thing.
Yeah.
So okay, so you can do this all in Google Sheets. So even though you have a Mac, you can still work in Google Sheets. So let me go through that process so that you can see it, because it shouldn't be any different for you, even though you're on a Mac. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So I'm going to go to the cohort, and I'm going to go to where the data file is located on day 4. Oh, that's reading and writing. So there is the file. So when I click on the file, it kind of pulls up to this screen here. And you should have the option to click on this and select Google Sheets.
Yeah, I did that.
Okay, great. And so you can make the modification in Google Sheets, but the key thing that you got to do at the end when you're going to download this file to your computer, so you'll make the edit that you're going to make, like the changing the columns and all of that, and then go to File and Download. And when you go to download, that's where you're going to want to make this .csv, because that's going to be the right format for StatKey. So at StatKey, when you go to upload the file, it only will take in CSV files. So it has to be saved as a CSV. And I think the issue is that numbers changes it to a different file format. So that was the reason why.
The issue I have right now is that my equation's not working, so I'm not getting any information or values in the system.
Okay. All right. So here I am in Google Sheets.
Yep.
And I'm gonna just go over and find. There's baseline energy.
Okay.
And then there's meditation energy. And so I'm going to go just to the right of meditation energy and insert one to the left. Create a new equation. There's meditation energy number, subtract baseline energy number, and then click on the value that I want to copy. And then select the entire column and paste. Now, you can always change that top column heading into something else, like this is change in energy. And maybe that was part of the problem, but now all the other ones should be numbers.
I got all of it in, but I got value instead of an actual value. Like I got the word value. So
yeah, and that happens with the first one, right? When I do equals.
Oh no, like all of them, all the way down. Is that?
Okay, so I'm going to do it again. So here I have the first one, and then I'm going to go minus the second one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to select that cell and select edit copy. And then I'm going to select the column and then select edit paste.
Maybe I'm choosing the wrong value points. What letters were you using again?
Okay, so here I'm going to just blank my old column out. So I have a blank column that's just to the right of my meditation energetic number.
Yeah.
Right. And then, oh, are you putting the equal sign in?
Before it, yes.
Yes. Okay. And then as soon as I hit equal sign, now I can move my cursor and I can move it over to that meditation energetic number.
Mm-hmm.
And then hit the minus key. And then move it over to the base energetic number.
Energetic. Oh, okay. So then, no, I don't know what it just, for me, it says a function minus parameter 1 expects number values, but the meditation energetic cat is a text and cannot be cohort to a number.
Oh, because you're choosing cat, not.
Or which one am I supposed to be choosing?
Number.
Wait, which one?
Yeah, it should be meditation energy number versus minus base energetic number.
Oh, it's the one to the side. Okay. So minus. All right. Yes, I got it.
Cool.
Cool. Thank you so much. I'm sorry
Yeah,
it took so long.
No, it's okay. It's all right.
But I got it. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
So did it work out?
Can you hear me? Yes, you can. Can you hear me? Okay. So, everyone, if you're near your computer, we're gonna get started in a couple minutes. Let's go back to turning our cameras on. So for today's breakout session, we're gonna start together. Then in the middle, we're gonna separate into the two teams, and then we're gonna come back together at the end. But for right now, we're gonna play a little game, and I'll let Liz handle that. She'll explain the game to you.
Wait, which one? The YouTube one?
Yeah.
Okay, so the game that we're gonna be playing is like basically called like Guess That Song. And you just can like either say it out loud or you can just type it in the chat, and it's just to like get you guys to interact with each other, and like it's just like a music game and it's just for fun. Let's see. Hold on. Okay.